Hello, everybody. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Coach Paul, and this is the Hola Prime Market News Update. U.S. equity futures markets continued their bullish behavior after a lighter than expected PPI and inline CPI data these past couple days. The S&P 500 futures gained 0.85% on the day, reaching new all-time highs of 6,600. The Nasdaq behaved similarly, notching a 0.63% gain on the day and currently trading at 24,022, roughly 46 points off of its all-time high. The Dow Jones had the best day of the three indices, gaining about 1.35% and is currently trading at 46,150. On the international market news front, we have a list of new interesting news this evening. A few economic data releases came out of New Zealand just now. New Zealand electronic card retail sales month over month were up 0.7% in August, better than the previous month reading of 0.2%. The year-over-year figure was down 0.9%, down 2.9% in August from the previous reading of 1.7%, though. Lastly, for New Zealand, their business PMI is down to 49.9 from its prior reading of 52.8, so technically a little bit of a contractionary sentiment there. Mexico placed a 50% tariff on Chinese cars amid pressure from the U.S. And finally, in an interesting turn, Brazilian Supreme Court has sentenced former President Bolsonaro to 27 years in prison. So interesting to keep an eye on the Brazilian markets there. For the USD FX futures FX pairs, the US dollar showed some weakness today amongst the futures major currency pairs. Euro USD gained over 0.3%, is currently trading at 1.18 on the nose as of this writing. CAD USD logged a 0.2% gain and is currently trading at 0.726, while GBP USD gained 0.3%, is currently trading at 1.358. The Swiss franc gained 0.4% versus the US dollar and is currently trading at 1.27. As for the Japanese yen, it essentially closed flat on the day and currently trading at 147.19 yen to the US dollar. And lastly, we have our New Zealand dollar gaining 0.6% against the US dollar today, with the pair sitting at 0.5996 as of this writing. For the cryptocurrencies update, relatively bullish across the board, actually. Bitcoin is up 1.75% and currently trading at $115,388, while Ethereum is up 3.45% and is currently trading at $4,466. As for some others, we have Litecoin up 0.68% at $116.02, XRP up 2%, trading at $3.04, and Solana is up 3.12%, trading at 228.36. For commodities, we have gold futures falling slightly today, trading down about 0.2% after their pretty significant run over the last few weeks. It's currently trading at $3,673 per troy ounce as of this writing, with 3,650 acting as the short-term support. Silver futures actually had a very bullish day today in comparison, gaining over 1% on the session and testing the $42 per troy ounce level at the moment. WTI crude oil futures fell 2.4% on the day and are currently trading at the $62.25 level per barrel. And key short-term support is roughly between $61.50 and the $62 level. So keep an eye out. Tomorrow, we have preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectations readings coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern. So make sure to keep an eye on your trades right around that time. We could see a little bit of volatility. Now, without further ado, it is time for a Quiet Markets live trading session with both myself and Coach Tiger. Let's get to the trading, folks. Hello,
Well, howdy.
hello.
How you
How's
doing today,
everybody
Coach?
doing in the chat? How are you doing, Tiger?
Oh, I'm hanging in there, man. Doing all right. Good morning, good evening,
Awesome.
Abdullahi. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I apologize. um,
uh,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
Trading is going
yeah.
great.
How's
It's been a
yeah,
great week. Yeah, been one of my better
awesome.
weeks. Definitely been my best week since
Good, good.
starting with Hola Prime.
Heck yeah,
He's
awesome. Love to hear it,
yeah,
man.
yeah. My locking
Think
myself in my room Friday night is definitely paying dividends. So
yeah,
got
yeah. That's. Are you seeing a little bit of lag here? Are you seeing a little bit of lag by chance?
no, no. Your lips are moving with the
No lag.
sound. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't
perfect.
see.
Cool.
I don't see anything. So
All right, must
yeah.
be me then. No
Oh, wait a
worries.
second. Move
No
my
worries.
light. I think.
All right. Kelton Scott, good to see you. Thanks for joining in here. We appreciate it. So what are you up to? What were you up to
Thank you.
this morning? What were you
Appreciate
trading? You trading a little bit of gold today?
it. I almost did, but
Okay.
uh, I set up a breakout. Well, not a breakout, but a kind of like I did yesterday. Oh, that's right. Tony was on with me last night. So yesterday I had actually done a 1 minute demand zone trade at the beginning part of the of the Euro session,
All right.
the London session yesterday morning, and it worked out pretty well. So I saw a very similar move this morning on gold, and I mapped it out and
Mm.
everything. As I was mapping it out, I was also writing up a news article for Forex Fire. So I was trying to like go back and forth, keep an eye on it. Well, I got so deep into it that I forgot to check it. And so when I went back after I finally finished my article, I realized I had missed the move. So, but it turned and it did get a bounce today. So it got a bounce, but not quite high as I was wanting it to. So it did end up retracing. So in the grand scheme of things, it looks like it would have been a small loss. But in the moment, I was like, dang it, I'm going to have to figure out my news article right in
Uh,
time around the London Open because it's those two things I got to focus on right at 2 or right at 3, well, 2 a.m. for me. So anyway, yeah,
right.
no harm, no foul on that. But yeah, yesterday I took a nice 1 minute demand zone bounce. It worked out perfect. Got a profit on it. And then, yeah, I just missed the one today, but it was
Nice.
by fate, I guess. Fate said, well, don't look at it because it's going to be a loser anyway. So,
There we go.
um, oh, there's our chart. So, yeah, just flipping on over to
Awesome.
gold. Zhao USD. Yeah, so let's see here. September 11th, September 10th. Okay. So, yeah, this was because I know you weren't on with me last night, but yeah, this was yesterday's. So I was looking at this was a 1 minute demand inside of the London low for the first 30 minutes and the London high up here. Actually looked better on a 1 minute chart. Just go back to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so this is just kind of experimenting for me. Just and I prefaced that with everybody when I was talking about it yesterday. I'm just playing around with these 1 minute demand zones, seeing how good they are or are not, going to be. So anyway, I had a little one
Yeah.
minute
Yeah.
demand here. Had a really nice gap out of the area with that leg out candle, and it ended up breaking and closing above. I don't know why I have that red. I normally do my boundaries white, but um, actually it would have been right here. Oh, that was an old stop loss. That's what that was. So anyway, this 1 minute
Mm.
candle had a nice gap up, and then had the first close ahead of the London high, the first 30 minutes of it. So I thought, okay, well, let's
Okay.
just test this out and see if it'll work. So it came down, bounced in, bounced up, and in all fairness, it did kind of go through. But my stop loss was down here under the low, obviously the session low. So
Hmm.
stayed safe, and then it just kind of started going sideways. It kind of started to respect this little uptrend line, so I decided to stay in it. And I knew it was about to get squeezed by the session high. So when it got to the session high, yeah, we just got that little wick. So there was some sellers there, saw the volume come in. But then a couple candles later, it fair value gapped right through with a strong close. So at that point, I just wrote it up and came back. And I ended up probably holding on to it longer than I should have, because I did end up getting out right here with this red candle. So, but it was more so just testing it out. I wasn't too worried about, trying to get a giant winner. I was just more so watching the price action, still studying. I mean, London session is still relatively new to me, so I'm just kind of getting the feel for it. But since I had that 30-minute high, I thought, well, we'll see if we can have resistance become support, which it did. It just ended up kind of wicking through. So I ended up getting out there for about a 1-to-1, I think it was 1-to-1. And then along the way, I was slowly stair-stepping my stop loss up underneath these new swing low points with the new high points. I was about to move my stop loss up here, but I just got a little greedy. I thought, well, let's see if that resistance can become support. And I actually had my stop loss down about where that wick was. I just had it down in this area, so it stopped me out, and the rest was history. But fast forward to this morning's London session. So here's the yellow vertical line is the start. So what I was looking at here was the bottom of the Asian session provided a pretty good looking, again, 1 minute demand with a pretty decent fair value. And then it just went up and created created a pretty good high from that point. So yeah, I was watching that, and right about 2:30 a.m. that's when I had missed the initial move because I was writing up my news article, and then I turn over about this time and I see it had already ran off and left me. So I'm like, dang it. Actually, if I take a look at that, I'll just see. Let's just go to the proximal line. I probably would have put a stop loss probably down about this far. So that's 3.45. So it did actually go up. Okay, so it was almost a 2-to-1. So I mean, at that point, I would have locked in, break even. So I would have gotten tagged out here. But again, the move had obviously ran off and left. So didn't want to chance that demand again, because it always takes away the potential unfilled orders hanging out there. So just let it roll on through at that point. Yeah. I was just for a minute, I was looking at this 1 minute demand that formed inside of this previous one. But I didn't want to press my luck, because typically, as I always say, I like to have supply and demand zones kind of hanging out by themselves, like up in this area as an example, right? It comes down, bases goes down, or like over here, right? I mean, this is not one I would have used, but price left, based, and then went up without having any immediate candles to the left of it. Now, when price drops, comes back up, to me, that's just kind of a new level, a new area. But if this would have been full of candles, then that, to me, would have negated that particular point, just as an example. But so, that's pretty similar to this. I mean, this was a demand that formed because of another demand. I like demands that form on their own, because that to me shows the strength of that area, rather than being the result of another demand bounce, if that makes sense. Hopefully I'm explaining that all right. But it ended up chewing through, so I avoided that, so stayed safe. But had I gotten into that, I would have definitely had my stop loss to break even. So that still would have been not a loss. So that's good.
So that was for sure. And I do really quickly. Yeah. I have. I did get long a gold. Like I was long a gold right there. I was long a gold contract, and I just got taken out for my profit target there. I made.
I see that.
Made $143. So Sweet. Let me update the P&L real quick. But I am definitely. Here we go. But I meant to say it sooner, but you were in a rhythm of talking there, and I was listening to you, and I was like, all right, I don't want to interrupt them.
No, you're good. Money. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I had to have my sister refill my water bottle.
Nice. Got to stay hydrated, my friend. Got to stay hydrated. So.
Oh, yeah.
You got the support on all sides here, That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't go anywhere without my big jug of water. I feel parched otherwise.
Mhm.
I guess if I
Hell
had,
yeah.
if, yeah, I guess if I had an addiction, it would be that. If I go go driving somewhere and I don't have a bottle of water with me, because like I don't drink soda, or very rarely do I drink energy drinks. I'll drink those once in a while, like a sugar-free one. But if I don't go
Yeah.
somewhere without my water, I feel parched all the time. Gotta have it. Um,
Dude, my I feel like my lips are always dry. Like I need to drink water constantly. I'm the same way. I'm like always feeling like I'm dehydrated. It's like it's
yeah,
a chronic.
chronic.
Uh,
Um, yeah, no, I'm the same. I'm the same. And then just to real quickly recap this trade, because I did go over it last night with Tony, but I wanted to show you as well. So yeah, on this
yeah, yeah,
pound yen, this was the one I profited on yesterday. I did have a demand here, which was that gap, or the Friday close, and then obviously Sunday we had that gap up. It was not strong volume, so that was the one thing that I was not liking about it. But it did have a pretty strong fundamental score, so I was just afraid price might come down, tap it, and run off without me. So I thought, okay, I got that demand, but below it I have another 1 hour demand. And then inside of this 1 hour, I had a 15-minute demand showing some confluence. If I were to go down to 15, you'd see a 15-minute candle. So I essentially got in on a smaller position that I probably normally would have, but I did it with the intention on tapping in on this demand zone if I had to. So I ended up putting my stop loss below both of them. So this is a zone on top of a zone, and then I just used both zones as a stop loss. Essentially, is what I did. So let me see here. So price came down, and as you can see, it just kind of chewed right through that one. So it did end up catching a bid though, right on that 15-minute and 1 hour confluence demand zone. So in this platform, I actually got into my trade up in this area, like in that top demand zone. But on my other
yeah.
broker, I ended up getting a fill down here right in the middle of the 15 minutes. So yeah, that profit looks a lot more handsome on that platform than this one does. But I still got out right before yesterday's PPI release, which was also coinciding with this 15-minute supply area.
Mhm.
Yeah, so ended up getting out right about there. I trailed it the whole way, just like I did my gold trade. I think you can see my last stop loss. So basically, we got about a minute away from the report release. And even though I was 95% certain the price was going to drop because it was giving us negative US data as a projection. Now, obviously, the outcomes can be different,
Mhm.
but so I was just banking that they were going to be right. Well, by having a declining dollar, it actually uh, shows a little bit of yen strength and pound weakness. So I, I just put my final line in the sand right below this little swing low while price was still up in this area, on the smaller time frame. So yeah, sure enough, glad I did that because it ended up dropping like you see there. So locked in my profit at the top. So yeah, it was it was a $1,525 profit on my other account that I
Dang,
have.
dude.
Yeah,
Good
and
trade, man.
yeah, I was pretty happy about that. And then I turned around and I did a very similar thing today. So today was CAD yen, and actually just going back to my gold chart, just so I can pull up all my fun info. CAD yen and pound yen is still on here as well. Yeah, but yeah, pound yen, that was my trade yesterday. Nice bullish score. But on the flip side, CAD yen is a bearish. So on one hand, we're selling Japanese yen, but on the other hand, we're buying Japanese yen. So Canada being such a weak currency right now, when we're talking economic surprise, all the releases and everything, it's just been missing a lot of
Yeah.
expectations, much like the U.S. has. So I kind of looked at that, and I kind of looked at the currency surprise meter altogether, and yeah, you can see so 20 Canada. So they've only had exceeded expectations on 25% of their fundamental report. So that's pretty low. And then the dollar is right there
Mm.
with it, 22%, and that's why the dollar's just getting kind of smashed. Swiss franc is still the lowest though. They're doing pretty horrendous. 83% of their reports have been missing expectations. So just a simple gauge of outperformance, underperformance. just from a 50,000 foot view, 100,000 foot view, however high you want to go up to see this. And really, just like the simple way to look at this and is just to say, okay, let's pair up a strong currency with a weak currency, go time it on a chart. It's really as simple as that. It doesn't have to be anything difficult, but just looking at strength versus weakness and go out and try to make a move on it. So let's see here. So yeah, yesterday was the pound yen, so 86% versus 38%. But today was CAD yen, so Canada being way weaker than the pound and obviously a little bit weaker than the yen. I decided to sell the Canada by the dollar on the flip side, just because of the way the strength gauge works. And then, so yeah, on that trade, I got Canada yen, CAD yen. Like I say, it's been giving me that negative score all day. I think it was a -9 actually this morning when I placed the trade, but you can see it's still -8. So a nice strong bearish score. So I took that narrative and went to apply it to a chart. Same thing. Yeah. Nice winner here and another even bigger winner on the other platform. It's just a larger size account. So the other one I have, it's a 250K. This is obviously the 100K demo account, right, that we use. So, but yeah, on CAD yen, I was looking at the fact that we had this downtrend kind of going sideways of late, but then just going down to a 15-minute time frame, had the supply zone up here on a 15 minutes, had all this sideways movement right here for about a day and a half. So the way I see this is, and this is my ideal, this is my favorite. Like if I had to go draw my perfect setup, this is exactly what it would look like. So here's why. So you got first of all, you got the strong decline. You got a huge fair value gap. You got really good volume. And just for a little tiny extra bit of bonus points, I do like to see when the zone is created, I like to see the RSI at least above the 50% line, but preferably up to the top because it just seems to work out a lot better. So that was a little over 50%. Okay, so that's all right. Well, then we get this sideways price action. So obviously this is where buyers and sellers are kind of duking it out or having a piecemeal, however you want to look at it, good or bad, right? But either way, you got you got all these people selling. Down here, you got these people buying. So you got liquidity on both sides. So I just basically looked at this as like this, like, all these people selling, they're putting their stop losses up in this area somewhere.
Yeah.
The range can be whatever, 10, 15, 20 pips. But the point is they're putting all their stop losses up here. So if they're selling, then their stop losses equate to buy orders, which is exactly what the big banks need to fuel their sell orders, right? So their buy orders coupled with unfilled orders from this area where people missed out, they saw this move and they're smacking themselves thinking, why didn't I get in? They're obviously waiting for price to come back because even though history doesn't always repeat, it does rhyme. The theory is it could do it again. So yeah, finally price comes up, catches all these buy orders, this liquidity, fill their sell orders, get the rest of these unfilled orders. And I just took a simple limit order on this. I didn't even need confirmation. I just took a simple limit order. Now I did two positions. I got in one position short, and then I flipped over to my other account so I didn't miss just to make sure I had my limit order and everything good in there. So it got tagged in really nicely. And then I came back over here and I started to look at just nitpicking on this, but I started to look at the kind of the way price fell away. Let's see. What did I see here? Right here. So on this position, it just barely wicked in. Let me just zoom all the heck the way in. It's you probably can't even see it, but it's literally to the pipette, right? So it just barely tagged me in. And so my thinking was, well, I saw this candle here when price touched it again. Okay, this is the second touch with a wick on the top. That's what I like to see, with a little more extra volume. So I decided to get into a second position on it. because I didn't really have a big position on to start with, more of a halvesy. I'm about to start increasing my
Yeah,
risk, by
yeah,
the way, now that I'm feeling much better with this account as far as the use of
yeah,
it, the
definitely.
usage of it. But yeah, I'll start getting these trades as the same as my other accounts. So, but anyway, yeah, I just tagged in another position of the same. I think it was like 0.86 lots total, 0.43 here, 0.43 here, and then yeah, the rest was history. So I had a choice to make. Okay, as price was coming down, because obviously we had the inflation report coming out.
Mm.
I had my stop loss further up. Let's see. Let me go back to my 15 real quick. Yeah, I had my stop loss. It ended up being up here, just to start the trade off with. So there was my stop loss, just above that little swing high there. About a 5 pip, 6 pips, a 5 pip stop loss. So obviously we have inflation report coming out. So I did my due diligence on this. I didn't just blindly do this, but I thought, well, once price was down here, do I need to just close this and look for the next trade? Or do I want to trust what I see, which is the data? And also, I did a little bit of history. I went back into the previous times the CPI report came out just to see what it looked like, on the smaller time frames. How far did it wick in the opposite
Yeah.
direction before the initial, the actual trend had picked? So I felt pretty confident that as long as that that we were going to get a spike back up, but I felt pretty confident about my stop loss that it would just turn around and continue. So whether this was luck or whether this was good investigating on my part, I don't know, but I decided to stay in it during the release, right? Which is obviously the big
Mm.
no-no that we kind of preach. But it's not like I'm putting $1 million on this trade. I just wanted to see because I wanted to test it out. And at the end of the day, it did wick through, but then it turned around and dropped, and I ended up finally cashing out down here in this area. So I think it was
Yeah, yeah.
1,100 on my other account. What was it? Closed positions 1,173. So yeah, that's 2 days in a row, man.
Nice, nice.
25, 26, 2,700 bucks, man. I'll take it.
Yeah,
On my but on
I.
because on that broker, yeah, I think so the
Mm.
8th I had a $163 loss, and then Monday I had a $223 win. So those were the two that kind of canceled each other out. But then these last two have been pretty good. So feeling pretty good about it.
Very nice.
Been a pretty
Very
good week.
nice, man.
So
Yeah. I'm
um,
for I mean my week's been pretty decent here, but I will say I do want to can we share my chart really quick first? I just want
yeah,
to go
yeah,
over
yeah, yeah,
real
yeah.
quick. I want to go over like
I'm gonna look at some.
yeah,
No, go ahead. I'm gonna look at
awesome.
some small time frame zones. See if I can't find something while you're showing what you got.
Perfect. We got
Yeah.
on the ES here, we got this kind of this support area right here of 65.90 a half that is actually point of control on the previous trading session or on today's trading session roughly. So I just did get short the ES. I was short the NQ for a second, then I realized, you know what? I would rather be short the ES right now because I understand the structure a little bit better. So I'm short the ES.
Mm-hmm.
One short one ES here on the minis. And let me just notify the production guys real quick. And yeah, I'm going to get short that, and I'm going to look for a uh, a target of somewhere around like the 65-85 area. So I'm looking for roughly like 5 points, which is
Yeah.
kind of where the bottom end of the general like distribution was on the day, because most of the distribution of volume that traded on the day was at the top of the day. We basically made a beeline upwards, and then once we got up in the top of the range area around like 11 a.m., it's simply just consolidated throughout the rest of the day. We did end up making an all-time high at 6,600 on the day in the ES here, but yeah, I think maybe we're going to just see a little bit of retracement here into the bottom of that distribution. So definitely targeting 65.85. I got to move my target up there. So basically roughly like a 2-to-1 um, risk to reward situation. So risking 112.5 to make 250. Not too shabby if we can see it play out, but I'm going to monitor the order flow here. I did take a small gold trade earlier, and I can actually pop that chart up as well really quickly in a second. I'll do that now. Gold, I'll show what I saw on the 1 minute. Reset. There we go. Cool. So basically on gold, I got long. We made this kind of wick. I'll actually highlight it real quick with the rectangle. We made this kind of wick, this aggressive wick up here to 36.79, came back down. I saw some consolidation occurring and a little bit more of that like U shape starting to happen, and the offers basically were giving way and becoming less aggressive of sorts. So I was like, you know what, I need to get long here. Got long. I made like 150 off of it essentially. So it was like $1.50 per troy ounce essentially, and I got out right at the break of that wick there. So that was about 18 minutes ago or so is when I made that trade. But it looks like it's consolidating bullishly, and it wants to possibly go up again. We might be seeing that negative correlation occur between the ES Nasdaq and or between the ES / Nasdaq and gold, where gold is going up now and the indices are coming off. So the flight to safety versus the de-risking, the quote unquote de-risking with the indices. So yeah, gold is looking pretty bullish right now, I must say. ES, going back to the ES here, we are looking pretty good. The fill was not the greatest, if we're being honest. It filled me pretty terribly when I marketed in, but what are you going to do? We did take out a decent bid on the ES at the 65.90 area, which is where I got in at. So we just need to see some further aggressive sellers on the negative delta here. We need to see that negative delta increase a little bit. Right now we're at about a negative delta of like 3,600, which is pretty good. The negative delta has been increasing over the last 15 minutes. It increased from 3,400 to 36, a little bit more than 3,600. So that's good. Just got to see the selling pressure continue. The NASDAQ can help lead it possibly here. We just need to see the NASDAQ cool off a bit. It's the NASDAQ. Actually, I can pull this up as well. I can pull up the NASDAQ. It's kind of range right now. Whereas the ES just like popped below its little range that it's had in the overnight. The NASDAQ's actually just tested the general low that it's now, it's seen it touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish times of sorts. We've seen it be tested, this last time being literally a few minutes ago here. But the trend line we're definitely trending downwards from the close. I've got this yellow line here from the top, like from the high of day, essentially trending down to these wicks that we've seen, these lower highs that are taking place in the last hour and a half. So yeah, I mean, kind of looking to play the breakout to the downside, essentially, finally break that area of support. That's kind of the goal here, but playing it through the ES. So see if we can't do that. I'll sit in this trade for a little while. I'll draw the trend line here on the ES, the relatively same one. Whoa. Okay, there we go. 5 minutes.
Decisions. I think I'm going to move my alert up there. Trying to argue with myself over here on a couple different dimensions on gold. No, this one's higher. No, that one. No, this one looks better. No, that one's closer. No, this one's a higher probability. No, this one's a wider range.
You got to have that dialogue, though. That's a good dialogue for sure. For sure.
What it basically tells me
That's a
is
good
on the
point.
closer one, make sure and make it prove itself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
because I'm
Right. Yep.
well, because that's part of it. I'm part of my all my study I did the other day was just the idea of this helps to filter out even more of the ones that probably shouldn't be taken because of looking for the strength, looking for the closest to the origin of that strong move, what started that move. Chances are that's going to be where it reverses. And so the idea is, as long as I'm picking strong zones, I shouldn't have to be looking for all those engulfish patterns. Now, if it's like a rally-based rally demand zone or a drop-based drop supply zone, it's out in the middle, right? So those ones for sure, I'm going to keep that method. As far as if for some reason I think that one's going to go rather than missing the boat from the origin, then I'm definitely going to stay on top of the verifying the bullish and bearish engulfings, the wicks, the 3x, 4x volume on those candles relative to the candles to the left of it. So, yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's always
Yeah.
fun to
Yeah.
reevaluate and find new little wrinkles to throw in, and something that's going to just help filter out the noise even more and more. It's a challenge. It's a fun
Always good.
challenge. 12 years in, and I'm loving it still.
Filtering out noise is a difficult task, but it is necessary. It is a
Yeah.
necessary one, and definitely something to always build upon. I feel like there's always a need to try and rid yourself of any noise. So
Yeah. Well, if
I'm
you
with
think
you
about
for
it,
sure.
that's all trading is. That's really all it is just filtering
Mhm.
out the noise and looking for quality, looking for discounts and premiums. TBB Trade says you can't stop Paul and Tiger from trading all hours of the day. Sir, yeah, you're
Coach
right. If
Tony.
I could trade on the weekends, I would. I really would. You see that meme, Paul, where the man is standing in a empty swimming pool with his hands on his hips or sitting on a bench with his arms crossed. He's like bored, wants to do this or that, but it's the weekend or whatever the case is. Yeah, that's the way
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's exactly how
yep.
I feel after like Friday evening when I should be relaxing and hanging with family, friends. Like, oh, I wonder if that supply zone is going to hold. That's just where my head is.
I wonder if yeah, yeah. Man, I wonder if
We're
that
eight
fib
up.
level is gonna really do what it's supposed to do.
I'm not the only one. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny,
Now
man. That's
the alternative is we could obviously trade Bitcoin or some of these coins on the weekends, but
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah,
It just doesn't feel right. Like Bitcoin is still relatively new for me personally. I mean, I've only really been
yeah.
following it closely for probably about a year, to be honest with you. But supply and demand and the fundamentals and the economics, everything translates to it just like any other asset. So I don't know. I
Mhm.
still haven't quite figured out a comfort level for pulling the trigger on a weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, honestly, that it feels like the only like for example, the only trading I've done on the weekend. And it's not even trading. I don't trade on the weekends, obviously, but I
Yeah.
like I when I started getting into like just small little positions of that of crypto, I bought over the weekend a couple of times, but like small little bits, nothing. I'm not like
Yeah.
trying to intraday thousands of dollars
You're
worth
just
of
in
anything, or
positions,
I'm
like little
investing
positions.
essentially. Is
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
investing. I'm
Yeah.
holding it for the long term. So that's completely different to just be buying
No,
little
for
bits
sure.
of like
Yeah. No.
crypto for the sake of holding. Yeah, but
Yeah.
anybody that does trade like crypto over the weekends, that's like I don't even know how that is. I wonder how the spreads are and
I don't
everything,
either.
and how bad some of the
Well,
brokers can be with their spreads, and I'm sure it's a little bit
Well, they're
different.
probably
So
worse because they're all, they're probably all tanked. They just got done with their corporate parties. Let's just go ahead and jack these spreads up for these crazy fools trading on the weekend. Pass another shot.
Uh, yeah,
Guarantee
right.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly,
They're
man.
saying, "Hold my beer. Watch this." Oh,
Well,
it's
you do have so Tony, you're right. Can't stop us for sure. Always going to be trading these quiet market sessions. You know how it is, man. And
oh, that's
Abdullah
Tony. I didn't even
actually,
realize that. Sorry about that,
yeah,
Tony. I just
yeah.
realized
And
that was
then
you. I see your picture now.
Abdullah actually wants you to look at some Euro USD,
Euro
but
dollar.
let's let this. It
Yeah,
looks like the trade's kind of playing out a little bit here, so let's see if we don't see a
yeah,
dive in the next like few minutes.
yeah.
And
Abdul
yeah,
Ali. I'll get to euro dollar here in a moment. Let's just check out the price action for a moment on his ES trade, and
yeah,
then yeah, I'll jump right on that when we flip over.
yeah, definitely awesome. Um, but
Oh shoot.
let's
Well,
let's
I'm sorry,
give.
man. Give me just a minute. I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Yeah, yeah, no worries, no worries.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Yeah, so I'm just taking a look back at gold here, see what gold's doing, and we are just continuing to the upside. So, reason I'm kind of keeping an eye on gold at the same time as I'm in this ES trade is because you can tell that there's a relative negative correlation tonight between the two. I mean, I see gold going up, but I'm looking at my other chart on my other screen of the ES going down and the NASDAQ going down now. So they're kind of starting to go hand in hand negatively in a negatively correlated way. Um, some people would say, hey, maybe you get long with that kind of conviction. Maybe you get long gold and you stay short the indice. And to them, I say, I don't disagree with you. I did have that long gold trade earlier, and I've been very tempted to get long in the 36.79, 36.80 level. So I've missed out on about $4 an ounce of sorts of upside there. But we got the ES trade going for us, so nothing. At least we're getting something out of this here. Slow mover for sure. Nasdaq is I can actually show the Nasdaq real quick. Nasdaq is holding up with its 21 period EMA on the 1 minute here nicely. Um, on the 5 minute, so we can see
All
this
right.
kind of support level again at 24,000, essentially 24,000, anywhere between uh, 24,000 and 24,005. That seems to be the level that we need the Nasdaq to break. We need to see the Nasdaq just push through. Once we get through that like
Mhm.
5 points of support, we could see a little bit more of a drop here. Maybe we see a 20-point drop or so into, let's see, like, here we go. Let me draw another triangle here. I would
Ooh,
like to
gold's
see
going
kind of
crazy.
a drop into the 23,990 to 23,975 kind of area. That zone I would like to see a drop into. Uh, that also coincides with the 200, or sorry, the 200 period on the 5 minute chart. So interesting there that zone that I'm looking to get out of once the Nasdaq gets down to that point also coincides with its 200 period exponential moving average. But maybe it isn't a coincidence. Who knows? So
Ooh.
yeah, that's kind of it. This is slow moving. I think this is going to be slow moving until the Nasdaq. We see sellers come through the Nasdaq and we push down below 24,000. So it's going to be a slow mover. Actually, Tiger, if you don't mind, I'm going to step away for like 20 seconds here. I'm going to step away
Yeah,
myself. We can show your screen if you'd like.
sure, that's
Production
fine.
crew, I'm just going to I'll be right back. Gotta do something real quick.
Yeah, no worries on that. Yeah, I was having a conversation chat. I was having a conversation with my lovely VIP lady for about 45 minutes before the stream started on Facebook. It was quite lengthy and important, so I didn't get a chance to run to the loo, as everybody calls it over across the pond. So I had to make a mad dash. But yeah, no, Paul was just talking about those levels on the NQ, and he was talking about this little point here. Yeah, I like that, Paul. You were talking about this kind of point here on the NQ, as far as you're wanting to see it at least come down there. Look, this is that. If I were an ES trader, I'd be keeping my eye on this spot right here. That's a really strong demand because of the fair value gap we came out with the volume increasing on it. Ooh, that'd be one that I'd be keeping an eye on.
Yeah.
So I need to hurry up and get a futures account. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's what I would be looking at.
Yeah.
The levels
Yeah.
are just so
Dude,
crazy on
come
this.
to the
And like we talked about tonight, right? Currencies tend to go sideways, whereas these indices and futures indices go kind of trend a little better at times.
Oh yeah. Come to the dark side.
Was,
Come to the dark side, my friend. Come on.
Well, we both are. We're both coming to each other's dark side. Yeah. Did you want to show anything else, or did you want me to answer that chat question?
Yeah, we can.
Whichever.
I guess you know what. Let's if it's going to happen, it's going to happen right now. So we'll switch back to my screen right here for the next few minutes, and then we'll switch back because the Nasdaq's really trying. It's really trying to push through. It's just trickling ever so slowly. Maybe we'll just keep an eye. The Nasdaq might be more fun to see the move here if it's going to happen. So let's move to the 1 minute here. And
for sure.
I mean, yeah, look at this. I mean, it's 1, 2, 3 times it's now come to this 24,003 area, and it's just and lower highs. It's really just trying. It's just taking a little while. It's been 15 to 20 minutes in the making. Come on, Nasdaq, just give up already. Give it up.
Throw in the towel.
Give it up. Come on now.
Throw in the towel.
Come on. I'll
be looking at euro dollar off screen here.
Yeah.
1 hour, 15 minutes. Put that anchor on it.
This is where I feel like moving the stop wouldn't be a bad idea, because if the Nasdaq is going to just decide to pop randomly, I don't want to be a part of that. I would want to move to break even here. I'm just going to move to break even. I'll move it to break even. No big deal. Let's see the drop though. We don't need to worry about this. If the Nasdaq just respects the 20, there we go. There we are. There we are.
Now just close at the bottom there. No spring.
Yeah, now just drop more.
Yeah.
Let's drop more. Come on.
Anchors away. Anchors away.
Let's see the drop. And it doesn't have to go down to this 250, like that. This target that I have of 65.85. There's nothing in the market that's telling it needs to go there. That's just a best guesstimate of where I think it can go in this overnight market. It doesn't have to do anything. It could simply reverse from here and be done with it, or it could go even further. Who knows? If we look like if there's more like an avalanche starts occurring, I might move the target profit down a bit, give it some more room. But
Yeah.
But yeah, the ES just moves slower in general. I mean, the Nasdaq just kind of dumped like 3 points there. It didn't even. I mean, that's a bad adjective to use. I mean, because it's like 3 points of movement, and the Nasdaq is really nothing. But it happened within like 2 seconds, and now we're just coming back up, and we're essentially. If you look at the Nasdaq on the 1 minute again, all we're doing is this 21 period, which is the purplish line or the pink line. It just keeps getting tested. It's just being tested repeatedly. And so we're seeing
Yeah.
a big move off of it to the downside, and then we pop back up to it, and then we move down, and we pop back up to it. So I was really thinking that bar that we just had, a minute and a half ago, I thought that big bar was really, it engulfed all those other bars, and I just really thought that we were going to pop down there on that. We didn't, but just got to be patient. Got to be patient. Let it go. Let it do what it's got to do.
I don't want to be patient. I want it
I
now.
know. I know. Here we
Right
go.
meow.
Come on.
All right, let's get that out of the way.
Move yes. Oh, I saw that you got the mod symbol for your account, dude. That's we were. Did
Discord?
you see that? You got the no on YouTube. You got your little wrench next to your name.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know
you
how
see.
that changed. I'm not sure how that changed. I guess they did something in the back end.
Yeah, they definitely did. Which is what I think that's a good idea to make the coaches, the moderators, and everything. I think that's a good idea for sure.
Yeah, I don't even really know what that means. I guess I should probably study that. See
Just
what that means. Just makes me cooler.
just basically, yeah, it just makes you cooler.
Just gives me
no,
some
like
brownie points.
Yeah,
Okay, he made the cut.
Just yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It just makes you stand out a little bit more in the chat there. That's really it. But
right on.
Come on. All right, this is super boring, I must say. If you want to show the Euro USD, let's just show it, because I have no idea when this drop is actually going to occur. It might just keep grinding down ever so slowly. So let's just do the Euro USD analysis for our friend here in the chat, Abdullah, and
Okay.
let's switch screens.
Sounds good to me. I'm just checking my work here. 30 minutes. Yeah, back in. You can go ahead and flop on over to me. And I will say, just from the outset, it's kind of a neutral asset to me right now, euro dollar. Just kind of looking at everything from a 30,000 foot view, as always. This is always where I start for everybody in chat. I want to start with the data, the good old boring data. So, if it's not on my top setups, then I don't really want to have a part of it. So, where did my thing go? Oh, there it is, clear up here. I got so many screens on here. So yeah, just looking at the top setups. Now, euro dollar is not on this list, okay, because it's not giving me a strong enough reason to buy or sell it. So what I did was just pulled up my neutral only list. So these are the items I'm not interested in trading right now until we get more data. I need more information, basically. So euro dollar is sitting at a 3. Well, 5 or higher is a bullish score. So if it's 3, I just simply don't touch it, because I kind of have an embarrassment of riches with all these top setups I do have right now. I mean, I have a giant list. Now, if I have like 2 weeks ago, I had this list was quite small, and really up until like the middle of last week, it was a pretty tiny list. But yeah, right now, I mean, these are all my opportunities. So the only thing I'm going to do is focus on, I'm not even going to focus so much on the bullish and the bearish. I'm going to focus only on the very bullish, focus only on the very bearish. This is kind of like the tagline, the little wrench I got on my YouTube name, right? It just simply means these items are a little more cool, right? So I have strength and I have weakness, but I have extra strength and extra weakness, depending on how all this data shook out. So yeah, I'm literally focused on 5 items right now. And that basically involves selling the Canada dollar because, again, it is so weak. Okay, there's a CAD pair, CAD pair, CAD pair, CAD pair. There's a CAD pair there. So basically all the Canada pairs are on here. But the common theme is selling the Canada dollar. So that's goal number 1. Goal number 2 is obviously buying silver and gold. Gold has given me a nice bullish score of an 8 because the dollar isn't looking so hot right now. So by default, the gold and the silver tend to do the opposite. So silver not giving me as strong of a rating, but it is still on there. But gold still standing out. It's still pretty strong. I mean, this thing was up in the 10s and the 11s over the last few weeks. Today's CPI report kind of changed it just a little bit, took away a point or two of strength, but it still remains pretty strong. So sell Canada dollar 1, buy metals number 2, and then when it comes to like I say, when it comes to the anything that's giving me a neutral score, I tend to just ignore it. So having said that, let's look at the neutral list. So yeah, euro dollar is still pretty good. I mean, it's giving me a 3. So if I didn't have all this fun to play with on this list, then I'd definitely be obviously just natural steps. Go down to the ones that are just a little weaker. If it's a 0, a -0, a -1, +1, 2, 3, stuff like that, I just flat out ignore because it's 2 down the middle. You got several red, several green. As always, the red means it missed expectations, and the blue rather means it exceeded expectations. So it's just giving me too mixed of a signal in this area. So, but to answer your question, euro dollar, yeah, I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I always use this analogy. It's quite graphic and probably not a good time for it, but I had to do one thing or the other, I would be buying this market, right? Because it is giving me a +3. It's much better than a -3. So yeah, let's just at the end of the day, smaller time frames. It's not, you can kind of get away with this a little more. Higher time frames, there's no way in heck I'm going to buy or sell something that's in the neutral range. But we can always go look at the most recent leg on a smaller time frame. So let's go look at it. Mm-hmm. Okay, we got a lot of, so 4 hours. 4 hours is just a big old chop fest. Okay, this is people getting whacked out. You got your swing low down here, got a couple swing high points. This is the old classic diddling in the middle, right?
Good old.
All right, everybody's diddling in the middle, right? So I have permission to buy in the green. I have permission to sell in the red. Swing high, swing low. So all these people in this area pretty well get chopped up. Now, this is a little bit at the higher end, which means you're basically buying in a premium, right? Not saying you can't trade it. I'm just saying the probabilities aren't as high. The probabilities on this market are the highest if you're buying at the lower end. But we're a long ways away, so we have to make do with what we have on smaller time frames. Well, if we look at it on a smaller time frame, okay, you got this. Let's go to the hour. Okay, obviously you got the candle from today, the CPI report candle, swing low, swing high. So it's really kind of it really just kind of ran off and left everything. I mean, in its wake, it has not really left anything, even on a 5-minute time frame, anything that looks great. I mean, you kind of have this little area here. I guess you could probably, potentially take a little bit of a stab. Take a little stab at this red candle here and kind of include that that green candle in front of it. Perhaps that could be a buy area because you did have this candle coming out showed strength, and so did the one after. Right, the volume increased on those candles. A little bit of gapping, okay, a little bit of fair value gapping or acceleration gapping or whatever you want to call it, novice gap, right? So perhaps you could take a stab at this area. Okay. As always, we're not financial advisors, educational purposes only. It's the disclaimer we play before every video. Okay. So you do what you want, but yeah, I mean, you could potentially have a play down. Oops. You could potentially have a, oh, you silly thing. You could potentially have a play down to here. But then if you're buying this market, just be aware there's a little bit, there's obviously overhead nonsense that you potentially have to worry about. So, that is a play. It's definitely not a play I'm taking because it doesn't meet any of my rules. But if you're just strictly a technical analyst, yeah, you got your swing low, your swing high. That's going to be basically your 50% fib retracement, right? I mean, we could throw that up there, but anybody can see that from a mile away, right? You 50%, you got your 61 at the bottom. Some people swear by the what they call the kill zone, which is why I included on here, which is the 0.71 to 0.88 level. Okay, that can act as its own little demand zone, right up in there. It's not one that's talked about ever, but it is another on a smaller time frame. It is another theory, if you will, right? Prices like to retrace to the kill zone. So basically, the same thing as the bottom of the curve, right? Buying low, selling high. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways to do this, but my way is just simply avoid it. But if somebody's forcing you, they give you $100, go buy a euro dollar, go put a position on it. Okay, fine. You got a 1 hour time limit. Then there you go. That is a play, but by no means am I saying it's a great play. 1 minute time frame. Hell, it could be
I
five
am
even more.
FYI chat
Yeah.
and Tiger. I got out of that ES trade for like an $80 gain or whatever, and but funny thing is I then within about 2 minutes got into an NQ short because I thought there was a little bit better risk to reward there instead of being in the ES short. I figured I'd get short the NQ, and I do have a very tight stop loss, so my stop loss is like right above 24. It's 24,006.5, and we are trading 4 ticks below that at the moment. We could break out to the upside here in the Nasdaq. To be quite fair, I was expecting either the breakdown here or for us to actually make our reversal because we kind of bounced up. Yep, I just got stopped out. All right, cool. So I'll update my P&L in a second. But essentially, we bounced off of the low wick from 6:40 p.m. Eastern time in the quiet market session here. Like so, essentially, what 3 hours and 20 minutes ago, we actually just bounced right off the bottom of that wick and had some decent buyers come in there. So. Yep, but not in a position at the moment. I'll update my P&L. I'm up 147 at the moment, so I'll update everybody if I do get back into a short or anything. But yeah, real quick there.
Right on. But Abdullahi, and sorry if I'm trying to get your name right, Abdullahi. I'm gonna hope that's how I pronounce it. If you're asking me where my favorite play would be, it's a very long term one. It's this 4-hour demand, and this is assuming I get the economics of the narrative to turn around in my favor. So give me a few more bullish points to buy the euro. Give me another negative or 2 point for the dollar, which kind of hard to come by because everything's been negative for the dollar lately. But yeah, I kind of already drew that tool out, or that projection out. It's going to be this 4-hour demand, and then at the top and even kind of piercing through a little bit is a 1-hour demand. So that's showing a little bit of confluence down there. Again, this is a mile away, but it is a play. It's a ways away, and there's not really. This is another smaller time frame demand zone, which I would, might even take into consideration. But yeah, I just basically needed more information to trade that. So. Probably not what you wanted to hear. I apologize, but yeah, there's not a whole lot. I mean, just one big sideways chop fest right now. But again, if you really wanted to get into a trade, well, there is some potential in this area. It's just, I almost don't even want to mention this because that is all part of the CPI move today. But again, it is. You can do worse things with this. Let me put it that way. If you're a small time frame trader. So hopefully that helps. Yeah, somewhat. But there's many. Here's the thing: there's way more other pairs that are giving great signals. There's better things to trade than the euro dollar. I'll say that. I mean, let's just go back to my list, actually. Look at some of these. I know, for me personally, I'm keeping mostly of an eye on, like I said, the Canada pairs. Okay, that's my neutral list, so I'm going to delete that now. Pull this back up. Yeah, I mean, look at some of these, like pound Canada dollar. The only thing going against the bullish narrative is the seasonality is typically lower, typically down in the month of September, right? And then the most recent PPI report. So that's it. And then other than that, everything else is going into the bullish side. You've had beat expectations on employment change there. You got your inflation report for the CPI, the retail sales as well, the services PMI, the gross domestic product. Trend is obviously looking pretty good. And then the retail traders, as a contrarian signal, are net short. So if they're net short, they're trying to stop a rocket from shooting into space, right? Just it's the opposite of trying to catch a fall. If price is going down and they're trying to catch a bid, right? It's just best to stay with the trend. So, and then the big banks on the COT report is more neutral, right? So yeah, I mean, these are reasons to buy something. A chart is not. This is what everybody on CNBC is talking about, and all the financial news stations, right? They're talking about all these reports. And obviously right now is inflation and jobs and the interest rates, right, that we're going to have on Wednesday. So once you can find a good excuse to go buy and sell something, then that's just where you go do some simple, technical analysis on the chart. So to find a place to time it. It's all about timing. That's really all it is. Pound CAD. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see here. So as far as the dollar itself goes, the only thing, okay, so I do have pound dollar, New Zealand dollar bullish, and then I think even dollar CAD, yeah. So as weak as the dollar is, it's still a little stronger than the Canada dollar because it is the weakest. So it's given us a very bullish score of 9 on dollar CAD. Now let's look at that one real quick. Okay.
Kelton is also asking you, by the way, where'd you get that list? He's asking. Where'd you get it? Where's that secret list coming from?
Yes, well, it's called the Edge Finder. It's nothing that we're affiliated with. I'm trying to get permission to actually share it. So in the meantime, I have to be careful with what I share. But I mean, as far as the data itself, it's public data, right? You can go find the data everywhere. It just essentially collects it all in an algorithm and puts it on that little one-page, like Excel spreadsheet, if that makes sense. So can't really disclose that, but I have talked to some of the upper powers about that. So hopefully at some point I can share that, but at the moment I can't really disclose that. But the important thing to know is it's all public information. It just simply gathers it all together, right?
Right.
It's a company. That's an unaffiliation. Sure. So we just have to watch the red tape, right? Hopefully you guys understand that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't have to have the site to do it. You can actually kind of do it yourself. I mean, it takes time, right? Which is the whole point of getting something that simplifies your time. But at the end of the day, and you guys have this on playback, right? You can always go and review this. So you'll be able to see this list. At the end of the day, if you just wanted to get a simple Excel spreadsheet, then you could take and do this yourself. Again, it will be time consuming, but all you got to really do is take a look at the main fundamental analysis reports, which is your economic data, right? The things that we see every day on Forex Factory, and Rebate King FX is another good economic calendar. And then I think we have them in our own platforms, if I'm correct. Is that right, Paul? When it comes to the challenge accounts?
Yeah, they're connected to Financial Juice, so that's nice. Yeah, and
perfect. Okay.
Yeah, Financial Juice is great. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Yeah, Financial Juice as well. So, but yeah, at the end of the day, all you really got to do is just go look at the most recent reports for all these, the GDP, the manufacturing and the services PMI, all that. If the report beat expectations, then that score gets a +1.
Mm.
For let's just say for the Canada dollar or for the British pound, right? Let's just simply look at the British pound Canada dollar real quick. So what this is telling me is, where am I at? Yeah, GDP. So what this is telling me is the British pound gets +1 for beating their expectation on the GDP report. What it's also telling me is the Canada dollar missed expectation on their most recent GDP report. So that's a +1 to another point to the pound. Okay. So pound exceeded expectations, Canada dollar missed expectations. So that's 1 + 1 is 2. So let's say
Mm.
pound beat expectations, but the Canada dollar met expectations. So neutral. Well, that would be a 1. That would be a score of a 1. Obviously, if they both were to meet expectation without any hot reports or cool reports, then that'd be a 0, like you see on the MPMI. And then as the same thing on PPI on the other side. This means that the British pound missed expectations, but the Canada dollar beats expectations, right? So that's how these scores are calculated. At the end of the day, you can take that and go recreate this on an Excel spreadsheet, and you can really do the same thing that I'm doing here, right? Until we hopefully have some good news to report about the algorithm itself. So don't
Yeah.
to be continued on that. But that if you do that with all these reports, that'll at least get you a start. Even if it's just if you only trade one currency pair or two currency pairs or some small number, then this shouldn't take you too much time at all. All you got to do is just go look at the past reports on the calendar of your choosing and just find out, did we beat expectation? Did we miss expectation? Did we meet expectation? Right? It's the surprise
Mm.
score. So hopefully that helps somebody out there. Again, it will take a little more time than obviously just looking at something that calculates instantaneously. But this is why I try to pull this up from time to time, just to kind of show you guys. Because at the end of the day, all I care about is the higher the score, the better, or the lower the score, the better. So
Yeah. Yep.
hopefully that helps.
I am. I'm short
Did you
2
want to share yours?
ES contracts. We can. Yeah, we
Okay.
can share my screen
Yeah.
if you got nothing. We can share
Nothing
my
at the
screen for
moment. I'm
sure.
still
I'll
looking
have
at some of
the.
these smaller time frame zones. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And no sleep narrator. Good to see you in the chat. My NQ trade I got out of actually, but now I'm short in the ES. So again, like because of the data here on it didn't get really good fills, got me filled actually like below where the market's even traded, which is not the greatest. But we're filled on two shorts here. I'm gonna give them a few points of or a couple points of risk. Gold is like really popping up, so I was expecting the Nasdaq and the ES to really try to push down
Oh.
now, but gold just popped up, and the indices also popped up with them. So that negative correlation that I was seeing this past hour is seemingly starting to go
Back to
away,
normal.
I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to really play that edge here tonight. Was hoping to continue that for that edge to continue to play out, but and then yeah, what's the weekend plans? Actually, it's my birthday weekend, so I'll be doing a little bit of
Hey, all
golfing
right.
and yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So should be a fun time. Go get some dinner, some nice dinner, golf a little bit. It'll be fun.
Awesome.
Be good.
Man,
Yeah.
no, that sounds like fun. Here's my thing. I can smack the goal well over 300 yards. I just don't know which fairway it's going to land on. I got a slice. I got a
Yeah.
push. I got a whatever you want to call it. Like my
Right.
claim to fame in golf is just going to Top Golf and trying to hit it over the net.
Oh yeah, dude. Well, and yeah, and you've got a tall frame too, so you've got that extra bit of like physics that you can really put into
Yeah,
that swing there, man. I'm sure you
yeah.
can bomb
Well,
the
plus I
ball.
played
That
Yeah, I mean, I've played baseball my whole life and softball after high school too. So I definitely got the swing down. I just would have to figure out how to smack it straight.
Right, right. Yeah, man. I mean,
Great.
that's the
But as
problem
far as
for all
plans,
golfers.
right? Yeah. Yep. Just figure out how to throw it or shoot it straight. I'll just chill. I'm probably just gonna chill at my house, do some more studying, and yeah, I don't really have any
Cool.
plans to be honest. I might just go to my hot tub, sip on a beer or two with with some family. That's
Yeah,
about it. Relax,
I
get ready
like
for
that.
next week.
That's a that's a fantastic weekend plan. That sounds great. Shoot, man. Can I come
Yeah,
over? Any chance I can come
yeah,
over and
absolutely.
hang with you guys?
Yeah, so yeah, well, absolutely, because so the apartment complex I live in, we have an outdoor hot tub, and it's still hot here. We're still getting some late high 80s. I think we're supposed to have some 90-degree days coming up again. But at night it's perfect, and it's a outdoor hot tub for everybody. But it's like this is the biggest hot tub I've ever seen. It's probably like I'm gonna guess like 13, 14 foot diameter.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's about right.
that's
13. No, it's more than that. It's more than that. It's got to be 15 feet. I'm just trying to size it up in my room here. Yeah, it's probably about 15-foot
that's pretty
diameter, so it's
decent.
gigantic, and it could comfortably sit
Dude,
30, 35, 40 people in there, just sitting
dude,
around the ring
wow,
of it.
man.
Yeah, so it's a
Yeah,
blast, especially when it cools off a little bit
dude,
towards
that is
the latter part of the night. Yeah,
yeah,
that's great, and we
that
got a
is
community of
awesome.
really cool people. Kind of a younger community of young professionals that live in the complex. So it's a pretty good crowd. There's always somebody cool to chat with down here. But come on up. Come on up. Open invitation.
Yeah, man, dude.
Anytime.
Just a quick little hop and jump over to Missouri, right? You're in
No, I'm in
Kansas City,
Kansas.
Missouri. That's,
No, I'm in
oh,
Kansas.
Kansas. Okay,
Yeah,
Kansas.
yeah. We're down
Gotcha.
here where the chickens are afraid of the scarecrows. Yep. But I'm
Yeah,
about 10 minutes from the
yeah. I was
border.
gonna say.
Yeah, 10 minutes
Right,
from the
right. And
Missouri border.
you're a Jayhawks fan, and you're a Jayhawks fan, and all that. I'm an idiot. I don't
Uh,
know why I was
uh,
thinking Missouri for some reason.
Not really diehard. Nah, I mean I don't mind KU, but living here a big chunk of my life, when it comes to the Jayhawks, when it comes to the Chiefs for that matter, you get sick of seeing the same colors all over everywhere you go. So it's almost like
Right, right.
I'm more of a Tennessee Titans fan because I don't live there and I don't see Tennessee Titans gear every single day all day. So that's probably partly. But obviously I grew up in Tennessee, so naturally I've got two favorite teams. So I do like the Chiefs, but
Mhm.
not as not as much as
Yeah,
I do
yeah.
the Titans. And and the same thing with college. I mean, KU, yeah, they're fine. K State, they're fine. But more of a Tennessee fan than any Tennessee Volunteers fan than anything. So
Oh,
hopefully
okay.
that doesn't
Gotcha,
fans of
gotcha.
mine where the chickens are afraid of the scarecrows.
That's
That's
cool.
right. No
Yeah,
sleep
man.
narrator. So I grew up in Tennessee, and my father was born and raised there his whole life. So um, he's about as hillbilly as it got. There was a time in his younger days where he used to still moonshine, and he actually made his living by making moonshine and selling it. He built a house out in the middle of the thicket, away from the main roads and everything, and he built a secret compartment in one of the rooms of it so that he could hide his still and all of his mash and all of his ingredients and everything. So yeah, true
So
mountain
wild.
man. So you can see where I get it.
Do you remember that show that used to be on, like, I was it the History Channel or something, with those like it was like moonshiners or
Moonshiners.
something like that? Do you remember
Yeah. Popcorn. Yeah. Popcorn Sutton. The old guy.
that? Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so great.
Was
So,
a funny one.
so that older guy, Popcorn Sutton, when I listen to him talk, that's very close to the way my father sounded. He's, saying
Wow.
same accent, same deep Southern Tennessee hillbilly accent and everything. Kind of looked kind of similar to him as well. It's kind of creepy, but now that I think about it, But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that every time I watch that show, that's all I can think of is my father, because that's exactly his mannerisms and everything. It was just, yeah, creepy how close it
That's
was.
freaking. That's so freaking funny, man. I
Yeah.
love that.
So needless to say, that was one of my favorite shows watching, just for the reminiscences. My father,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
That's so cool.
had that
I
sign
loved
on
watching
there.
that show. It's older than people. I feel like remember. I am gonna get long one gold here. By the way,
Yeah,
I am
nice.
gonna get long. Yeah, I'm kind of double dipping myself here between gold and the indice. To retake on that negative correlation possibly, and see if we can't go up in gold and down in the indices. Come on, let's see it happen. See if we can't get up to 3690. Right, I'm going to put my take profit right below that area. Let's see if we can't get there. That's where 3690 is where like a 77 contract offer is, which is why that's the target. So I'm looking to see if gold will get up to that liquidity, eat it up, and then figure out what it wants to do from there. So
Sweet.
yeah.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. What do I want to buy or sell? What do I want to buy or sell? Gold.
Come on, gold.
I
Come
mean, as far
on.
as gold goes, yeah, I'm still quite a ways away from a demand. Silver's flying even more so than gold right now. Wow.
Silver's, yeah. Dude, silver is man, does that look just primed? Looks like it wants to really try and break out.
Yeah. I might have to look at that leg on a microscope, see what we got. 5 minutes. And
Let's see on the ES trade what we got going here. In the
15
money a little
minutes.
bit.
Wow. Yeah. Asia likes silver this evening.
There we go.
Silver's got a 1.67% range on silver so far, and a 0.5% range on gold. So, yeah, it's definitely a little more tilted to silver, but I could definitely see a big pullback from where we're at the moment. Got a lot of fair value gaps in its wake. 30 minutes, 1 hour. Okay, so I'm going to wrap a rectangle around the Asia low, 1 hour demand zone. Put an alert there just to see if it comes back. It may not. It looks like it wants to run off to the moon, shake hands with an alien, space alien, while it's up there. Probably what it's going to do. Greetings, Earthling!
Bid there.
All right, so I got 2 alerts on silver now.
All right, I'm managing 2 trades at the moment, so I'm constantly switching between screens, guys. I'm long gold and I'm short this ES, and they look good. They look like they're both doing all right. Really want to see gold pop here in the next minute or so. Let's see if we can't pop above that high, and come on, pop above it. Give me $1.30 an ounce right above that. Get me out of my, stop me out. Let's put it actually to 89.5 there. There we go. 89.5. Come on, gold.
Little rich for my blood up there. If it comes down to the Asia low, though, I might tag into a small position, but that's probably asking too much for it from it.
Hey, no,
Probably
man.
is.
I mean, hey, the on gold, I don't know if you saw or
Gold
what
or
was
silver.
what was that? Oh yeah, you actually don't have in the Asia low. Trying to think what level that is on the futures. I'll give it a look in a minute, but
what's the ticker on this? Let's see, silver. Is it minis or micros for you?
it doesn't matter. But minis, I'm using minis at the moment.
Oh, I
Come
need to go to
on.
futures. Silver
Go
futures.
gold, go.
41.89
Go.
on SL1 exclamation point. It's like 41.89 was the Asia low.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was basically
All
looking
right,
at
so that's
that
not too far.
1 hour demand potentially. But the only, well, it did, I kind of, well, it did bounce from a demand zone. So it really didn't create itself. That's kind of the only
Oh
downfall to
wow.
that.
I didn't see that silver had such a massive run over this last hour and a
Yeah.
half.
Yeah.
I didn't see that actually. Okay,
That's
I get you. I get you.
one and a
That's
half
hilarious.
percent. Yeah. 1.5% Asia range to gold's 50% or 0.5, 1.5% to gold's 0.5%. So it's like 3x in gold at the moment,
Yeah.
just in the Asia range. I sleep like a baby. I never saw it come. Work. Let's see here. Let's go. Yeah, 1 hour, 30 minute. 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, 10:05. So yeah, basically 1 hour with a 30-minute demand in the bottom of it. Not quite the confluence I like. I like to see my confluences at least like 4 times whatever the
This is
time frame is, lower or higher. I don't really
yeah.
care to focus as much on confluences where they're like a 1 hour and a 30, right? If I'm looking at a 1 hour as a higher time frame, I'd be wanting to see something 4 times less, so 15 minutes, or vice versa, right? If I'm trying to find a 4 hour zone, then I want that 1 hour confluence, or even 30, 15. I mean, I'm not really that picky on that one. Just show me some type of a confluence with fair value gaps on both. Oh, those are so
Mm.
strong when you find those. That's been every one of my trades this week, and that's why I'm 4 for 4. Those confluences are awesome.
Oh man,
Awesome.
this gold here is it's like taking so long. It is really slowing down. Come on. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Make the move. Make it. Make
You
the
can do it.
move. That's it.
Put your back into it. Break
That's
the top. Go on up. Oh, there's your new high. Mm-hmm.
come on.
Sorry.
Okay, get out of it because that just stalled there. So let's go back to the ES here. So we're out of that.
All
That was
right.
like $130 that we made there on the gold at least. So up 260 now on the night. Let's see if we can't have the ES. ES has done very little. It is doing nothing right now. Part of me just wants to get out of this and be done with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. This doesn't look too great. This is kind of just ugly. So I think I'm just gonna. I might as well just leave my. I'll put my stop right above the 9 period EMA on the 5 minute here, and yeah, I guess I'll just let it run. Go from have the stop at the above the 9 period and see if we can't continue on for the rest of the session. I mean, this is just taking forever, so it might
Mhm.
literally take 20 minutes for it to go down 3 more ticks, to be quite honest. The NASDAQ is moving somewhat, but the ES, I don't know why the ES isn't really following suit with it. It's having a lot harder time.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm trying to find a dollar pair as well. Pound dollar, New Zealand dollar, but they both had a really nice run up in the New York only part of the intraday session, but then I'm sorry, the overlap, the London New York overlap, just a giant move up, but then topped out at the New York only, and then the Asia, it's been it's making a few lower lows. So I'm really not interested in paying attention to these couple of demand zones at the top of that move. So I think it's going to roll all the way back over to the start of the overlap. It's the way it's acting like. That's awesome. That's pound dollar and the Aussie dollar. Yeah, pretty much all of them. So I can't really find a good place to buy into the dollar right now. I don't think I'm going to be interested in it. Yeah, gold, silver. Obviously, there's a nice Asia low demand zone on an hour, on a 30-minute hour, but it's acting like it just wants to keep going up. So might miss out on that. CAD Jap, if I wanted to try coming back to the well again and profit on it again, I just don't really have anything. It is retracing back up. It is a very bearish asset, but there's no real supply zones in the immediate area. I'd have to wait for a higher push up. And that's going to be a ways away. Probably won't hit this week, possibly next week. Got a little bit of confluence further up. CAD yen. So CAD yen's pretty much done, I think, for the week. CAD Swiss. Got a couple really nice plays on the CAD Swiss, but they're about 30, 45 pips away, something like that. Ooh, really nice setup. I got a small time frame setup on a 15-minute supply zone, but I also have a 1-hour supply zone wrapped inside of a daily supply zone for confluence above that. So a couple good plays, but I think they're probably quite a ways away. CAD Swiss moves kind of slow. I think its average true range is only about 35 pips, if I remember right. So it kind of moves like molasses. Okay, 32 pips. A little slower.
Yeah.
Move like a molasses. So that probably ain't going to hit this week. We'll have to wait for the interest rate decision today, I think, on that one. What you got?
I did just get out. I got out of the ES because I started seeing the NASDAQ double bottom, and it's now turning up. And I was like, you know what? This ES is going to torment me just being in the trade. Having to pay attention to it just trickle tick by tick every 5 minutes is going to torment me. So I just decided to get out of it. And I'm done with that sucker.
Okay.
So
we don't want you tormented.
Yeah. Yep.
30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute. Pound CAD might present me with a small opportunity on like a 5-minute demand, but I'm just trying to decide if I feel like it's strong enough or not. Too many wicks. I don't know about that. I think it's just too ugly, especially when you look at it on a higher time frame. Very slow, ugly grind with wicks all over the place. I should just trust my spidey senses or tiger senses or whatever you want to call it and just ignore it. Wait for the bigger discount.
Yeah. Gotta trust the tiger senses. Come on. Gotta trust them.
It's tough to do sometimes, but then again, that's trading. It's what makes us better.
Yeah.
Aussie CAD, that one's too far away. Now, why did I have this saved up here? Now I'm just going to delete that. Delete that old alert. All right. So I'm sitting here with about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like about 17, 18 alerts set. So that's a pretty good, healthy amount for me. Mm-hmm. Good combination of 4 and 1 hour supply and demand zones, but also some smaller 15-minute zones for the smaller time frame. 15 and 5. That's about a good balance. I don't too many alerts, and it's paralysis analysis that can get you overwhelmed. So I feel like my good amount of alerts at any one given time is about 15 to 20 max.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I mean,
That's a lot of alerts, dude. That is a lot of
It does
alerts.
sound like,
That's
yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, and that's for a 1 and a 5 minute trader for sure. Yeah, absolutely. But like, yeah, these
oh my
one
god,
hour and
for sure.
4 hour zones,
Yeah.
it's it's healthy to have a good watch list of items because even with the 4 hour zones by themselves, yeah, I'm lucky to have one or two good setups a week. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Like the longer term, it totally makes sense. It's funny, like you said,
yeah,
shorter term, that sounds like a nightmare,
yeah.
but
Oh, for sure.
longer term, totally, you need way more stuff to be. You need more opportunity in general. Like the more opportunity, the better. I agree, 100%. But that's hilarious. Like
Yeah,
every 3 minutes, I got something ticking in my ear. So on the 1 minute or something, it'll be like, oh my god.
yeah, yeah. No Sleep narrator says I'm terrible at golf, but compared to Paul and Troy's video, I'm Tiger Woods. Wow. Well, I'm Tiger Berry, which says nothing. Like I say, 300 yards. I was always the home run hitter on my baseball and softball. I can smack it far, but yeah, when I tried to translate it to golf, I do. I don't know where it's going. I think I hit a dog one
Yeah,
time because it was in the
yeah.
wrong. It was in
God,
another
no.
fairway. I could hear it go yelp from a. So that's my
Oh
claim to fame.
no.
No hole in ones, but it did
Yeah.
smack a dog from several hundred yards away.
Oh, poor dog. Dog was like, I didn't do anything. What the heck, man?
Oh, it was so funny
Uh,
too. The guys I was with, we were just all rolling, laughing. How the hell do you hit a
oh
dog?
man. Was it at least a big dog? Was it a pretty decent sized dog,
No, it was
Could
like
take
a
it,
smaller, mid-size, type of dog. No, it wasn't big. So I guess I
Oh
got bonus
no,
points for
man.
hitting a small dog.
Yeah. That's even more skill,
glad,
but even sadder just generally.
glad PETA wasn't around. it
Yeah, yeah,
was an
for
accident.
sure. Oh my god. Of course, of course. Yeah. Nobody's trying to do
Absolutely.
that. Of course.
Yep. Euro, Aussie. I'm going to wrap me a rectangle around this supply zone. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, about 60 pips away. Ah, too far. But it'll be on there for next week when it comes around. Okay, so that's Euro Aussie. Yeah, silver and gold just gonna chill up there. Aussie New Zealand. 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. See, I'm just not the most comfortable with taking these supply and demand zones that form in the Asia session. Although I've seen with my own eyes where a couple of them have succeeded lately, but it's just so hard to do it. It's so hard to place an order in a zone where the volume is just so low. I can't seem to bring myself to do it. But man, they look so good. I mean, volume isn't the
Hmm.
end all be all, but it is definitely the most important thing I follow. I think I heard you guys saying something like similar to that on the future stream, or maybe it was Tony last night. I can't remember. Somebody said how important the volume is, right? Just looking for volume,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
just in
Oh,
general.
100%. Yeah. It's always
Yeah,
always very important. I mean, especially volume in specific areas, like not even like necessarily like what you would call like a support or demand zone, but just an area, like what we do a lot is especially when you see like a quick movement and then aggressive deltas coming in, whether it's negative or positive, and then they immediately get rejected. Seeing that is a very good confirmation of either a reversal or a continuation in trend. So if we're just generally going up on decent volume, but then you see a sharp down move with really hard aggressive negative volume, but then all of a sudden we can't go any lower and we keep popping back up to the upside, like to continue the trend. That would be like almost like a confirmation to get long or like add to your position or whatever. That's a good example of like how volume is so critical in certain areas. I think in the small time frame
yeah,
intraday, like 1 minute, 30 second, 10 second, when you're looking super granular like that, for sure.
Which, in my short and limited exploration of like the point of control and the volume profile indicators and all that, it looks like the point of control is where you're placing a lot of those buys and sells. Is that right? Like the bounce is off of it. Am I seeing these videos correct,
Uh,
or am I need more
Sorry,
context
what
on
you
that?
said about the point? You said about the point of
Well,
control.
I was yeah. Is that where people are typically buying and selling, like on the bounces of the point of control, or is that
Um,
just one way of doing it?
Derek. So typically, I don't look personally. I don't use point of control as an entry area. I use it as an exit area usually.
Oh,
So
okay.
sometimes, is there a situation where, like, if you're around point of control and maybe there's a certain structure that's taking place where you could have an entry around point of control, then yes, like, it's possible. It is possible, but for the most part, I'm usually targeting that area as, like, something like Daryl would say is like, it's kind of like a mean reversion trade. So say we point of control is in, like, just to be hypothetical here, let's say there's a stock that has a point of control of 100, value area high of 101, and a value area low of 99. We pop above point of control, we get up to value area high of 101, and then it looks like volume is aggressive deltas are starting to, like, or the deltas are starting to become less aggressive, and it looks like we're fizzling out. I'd look to try and get short back into the point of control of 100 and then get
Oh,
out, because
okay.
we know that a lot of because that's where people relatively feel comfortable, like, adding, or like maybe the longer time frame people are trying to add into positions there, because a lot of people are transacting there. But I just like to get out of areas. I like to get out of trades where there's more liquidity, let's put it that way. So
Gotcha. Okay, that makes
you
more sense. Yeah.
yeah.
So
And
you
then,
might.
but then sometimes what you can do is, like, the point of control is made, and then there's like a structure that occurs, like, say we're a bullish structure, and then we hang out in a certain area above, like, value area high, and then you look to get long to continue, like, a trend to the upside, and you're not looking for the mean reversion to point of control anymore, because point of control can also just
Yeah.
migrate throughout the day, upwards or downwards. So
Yeah, I have kind of noticed
yeah.
that. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, because I mean, I guess that would
Yeah.
explain. Because I've seen Daryl draw the little curly things around the high volume node part of it, and so as that volume is going down, that's where people are getting long in order to go back to the point of control or profit, and then turn around and short when the volume starts to thin out up top to take it back to the point
Mhm.
of control. Is that kind of the basic understanding of it? I mean, I know there's more to it, but
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Exactly, and it depends on the type of, like, the type of
mean reversion.
distribution
Yeah.
day. Like, if you have, right, if you have, like, the best time to
Okay.
be using that strategy, of course, is when, like, a standard distribution is playing out. It seems like it's going to be more of the range day, and then you want to be getting short close to value area high, long closer to value area low, and then you're trying to just always get out somewhere around point of control. If you can tell if, like, a
Mm,
rotation is occurring from value area low to a value area high, you can hold it through point of control if you're like more convicted, just depending on the structure of the charts. But there's a lot of nuance there. But I think that's what makes
sure.
it, like, that's where experience comes into play, and really having a lot of time into the markets, is understanding when you can take that stab at a bigger rotation, or whether you should just get out at point of control and take your money and run. So
No, that makes sense though. When you said it that way, seeing volume wither away to mean revert. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. All right. I can see the picture
yeah,
in my
yeah.
head better now. That sounds like fun
And it's kind of like, oh
on a
yeah,
smaller
yeah,
time
no,
frame.
for sure. I mean, yeah, for sure. And, like, and what Daryl does a lot is, like, he's not necessarily paying attention to, like, value area low or value area high. What he's doing is kind of looking at something similar, where he's looking at the volume profile, and he's looking at, like, lower volume, nodes and using those as areas of like support or resistance.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, because lower, like if in a standard distribution, like at a value area high, volume starts tapering off. So you would look at that as a possible resistance area in like a normal
Yeah.
range day to revert back to the mean or point of control,
Okay.
and vice versa with
Yeah, that makes more
value
sense.
area low. So yeah,
That
yeah.
makes more sense. Yeah, I was kind of thinking those things as I've been looking at it, just, you know, as something to do. Like my Friday night, I was looking just a little bit at it. Get away from all what I'm doing for a little bit. Go learn something new. So that's one thing I was kind of thinking. Okay, well, let's just think about this logically. The volume's falling away up here.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trading down below at that point of control. So clearly, it's a popular area. So you just want to anticipate that. Yeah, get in a short to push it back down. So maybe perhaps. Well, man, I wish we had that on Forex. That's all I got to say. I wish we had an accurate track volume on. I mean, obviously, I have like my volume spread analysis, and it's actually very similar to volume. I got to admit, I've been kind of comparing it to volume itself, and it's really not that
Okay.
much different. But so I almost wonder if I could just play around with it and test it out and maybe get away with it. A combination of that and the VSA, the volume spread analysis. So I don't know. It's just more longer term stuff to play around with and back test.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think you probably you could get away with it. Yeah, just back test it a little bit, see how it plays out for maybe over like a month or so, and or like back test it first, of course, see if it makes sense, and then
Yeah.
watch it like actively for a month or whatever, and see how it plays out. Like kind of future testing, I guess you could say, just see it in real time and whether it's still making sense, and then then maybe implement it. That would be cool. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Because, when it comes to Forex, I mean, anytime we see volume, like on TradingView or GUI trades or whatever, then yeah, that's the important thing to remember. We were talking about this on Forex Fire, I think yesterday morning. Um, And yeah, the important thing to remember is that's only accurate for that platform. I don't know so much how deep TradingView goes. I don't know if they look. I think they look at like the top 10. I feel like I read an article somewhere where they look at the top, I don't know, 5 or 10 of the best brokers, and they kind of add all their volume together when it comes to reporting the volume, on TradingView.
Mhm.
But obviously, any individual report, any individual broker, TradingView, Match Trader, MT4, MT5, then you would have to assume that that's only accurate as of the traders on that specific platform. So, yeah, it's definitely
Right.
not
Right.
the end all be all, but it at least gives a little bit of an understanding. And it's
Yep.
kind of like it's kind of similar to the retail sentiment. So, I used to track like 4 or 5 different retail sentiments to see what the average trader was doing, and they all looked different, but they weren't that different. So comfortably, you could say, okay, this isn't an exact number, but you might give or take a few points up or a few points down.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yep.
don't know if I explained that right. That's the way I see it in my head.
No. 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 For
accurate,
for sure. For sure. You're.
accurate just for that platform, but couldn't be too much different than all the other ones, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. You would, and that's exactly what you would have to, I guess, kind of prove to yourself in some sort of way. For sure. Yeah. And I would think so, but who knows? I mean, I'm not the probably not the one to speak on it, but really quickly, this
Yeah.
is where I got out, by the way.
Oh,
This little purple box. That's where I got out of my
yeah.
ES trades. So glad that I got out there.
Yep. Good
Glad that I
stuff.
decided that wasn't worth it. Just literally, how long was that? That was from 17 to, that was 15 minutes of just two tick. That's like two pipettes for you of just two
Yep.
pipettes constantly happen like that. That's how ridiculous it was. And then eventually I got out.
Got you saying
Gross.
hit. you saying Pipette. I had Richard and Michael referring to Pipettes this morning. It brought a tear to my eye.
Oh, they grow up so fast. They grow up
Yeah,
so fast.
yeah.
Uh,
Like Michael on here that day, the
I'm
other
br-
night, saying that we were talking about his half a bat.
That's exactly what I was just gonna say. I'm like, I'm bringing tears to Michael's eyes with the half bat. I'm bringing tears to your eyes with the
Yeah.
pipettes. Man, I'm bringing everybody some joy here. Come on.
Try to
Oh
Dina
God.
says trying to choose between the CFDs or futures account. Which one do you think is worth trying on Hola Prime? Oh wow.
Well,
Flip a coin.
that's a loaded
I mean, I
question.
don't know.
No,
It
no.
really is because like I only have experience with currencies. I have stock trading experience too. Like I used to trade stocks, but it really just depends on which one steers you closest to it the quickest. I mean, for whatever reason, when I got started trading, yeah, I learned stocks the first year, but then year two is where I took Forex lessons and I just gravitated closer to it. Honestly, I graduated to Forex, or I should say, I gravitated closer to Forex because it was such a much smaller amount you had to have to fund an account. I mean, that was really as simple as
Yeah.
it was because back then it was 25,000 for a stock account, or at least if there was anything cheaper, I couldn't find it. Maybe there was, maybe I just didn't see it. But when I was studying Forex, just as far as just strictly funding accounts, that's the only thing I was worried about when I was doing this. But yeah, currencies, I was able to find one where I could fund it for 2,000. So for me, it was just a lot cheaper. And I didn't have, like, I've never had like, big chunks of money to just go out and fund a 25K account. So had to really scrape that together above on top of the classes I took. So, but the more I studied Forex in year two and beyond, the more I just fell in love with it because I love the idea of following the big banks and institutions because they're the ones that are pushing money around and making the money. So I just decided early on, like, if you can't beat them, join them. So that's
Yeah.
why I focus so hard more on the fundamental data and all these reports because that's what they're looking at. They don't typically care about our 5 minute time frames, right? Um, when it comes to the charts, I mean, they're typically looking at the higher time frames. That's why I also like to stay on the 4 hour time frames and the daily. So I'm just trying to mimic them is all I'm doing. I just kind of latched onto that concept early on. Like I can't pretend to know more than the bank. So
Right.
if I know already that I'm starting from behind the wheel, then I'm going to study and watch every move that they're doing to try to learn what they're doing and mimic that. So that's my philosophy. Obviously, Coach Paul will have a philosophy for why he chose futures, right? So it really just depends
Right.
what talks to you more. Paul, what do you think about that on the futures aspect?
Yeah. Yeah. What I would. Well, first, like the quick question, or well, yeah. I guess first is on the CFDs. I think it does. If you want to do CFDs, it does allow you to, for like the Forex account here at Ola Prime and using CFDs and whatnot. I think you can really you can adjust your position size a little bit better. Like if you wanted to trade like the US 30, for example, but you wanted to do it via CFD on the Ola Prime account, instead of doing the Dow futures, for example, like there might be a smaller risk tolerance, like that you might feel more comfortable with in the CFDs versus the futures. On the CFD or on the Forex accounts, Tiger, can you hold positions overnight, or can you?
Yeah.
Are you allowed
Are
to
you for
hold?
Forex?
So you can. Yeah, so like for the currency pairs, you can hold them overnight, but for like if you're in the US
Oh yeah,
30 or gold or
yeah,
any
yeah,
or gold or anything, can
yeah,
you? Okay, you
yeah.
can
You can
hold it
hold it
all
overnight.
overnight.
Yeah, for sure. In general, you can
Yeah.
hold them overnight. You can hold them over the weekends if you want. I haven't. I don't. They might have the over the weekend limitation on the Ola account. I think. I don't know. I haven't tried.
Okay. So at
But
the
yeah, in
minimum, so
general,
my
in,
yeah,
yeah, in general, you can hold them
my
overnight. You can hold them over the weekend for the indices, the gold, the silver, the Bitcoin, and not to mention the Forex pairs. So yeah.
because my point more so being with Ola Prime here is if you want to like swing trade a little bit more, if you don't want to be intraday trading, like, and you want to swing trade more, the CFD might work out a little bit better. The CFD accounts, or the Forex
Sure.
accounts, essentially, would probably work a little bit better for you. The futures accounts, you are going to get taken out of your position at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
like, it will happen. You will get
Yeah.
taken out, and then you would have to re-enter your position at the next like open, which would be like an hour later, or what have you. Or you can just
Mhm.
re-enter it as soon as you can get back into the market. But like, you would have to do that every single day if you're trying to swing trade. Let's say over a 3-day time period, you'd have to make sure that you're doing that.
Yeah,
So
good point.
I think it depends. Are you more intraday trader or are you swing trader? And then on top of that, obviously, do you have a preference? Do you like currencies? Do you like a lot of odd currency pairs or something that you can't get access to on the futures account? Like, on the futures account, you can trade the yen USD, euro USD, CAD USD, all the major ones you can trade. But again, like, it's all the major USD pairs for the most part. Like, maybe you want to trade British pounds, yen, or
You got to be
something.
out at the end of the day,
But
right?
which
On all
we
the futures.
Yeah, and
Is that
you would
right?
still have, exactly. You're still, yeah, exactly. So it's still, no matter what, it's more so. I think it just depends on whether you're intraday or swing, and then on top of that, if you're more interested in currencies, you will have more currency options in the Forex account than you would in the futures account. But if you like
Hmm.
indices and intraday trading, you like trading the Nasdaq or the Dow or the ES, or you like trading some commodities, like maybe you want to trade wheat or soybeans or live cattle, lean hogs. You want to trade copper. Um, you can still trade copper in the CFDs and whatnot, but you want to trade like the standardized futures contracts that have like tick limits and everything, and more standardized risk. Then you would go with the futures account. So I know that was super long
Yep.
winded there, but there is a lot
Yeah,
to
that's
dissect
good.
between the two types.
There really is. No, you were right when you let off and said it. This is a loaded question. I mean, yeah, ultimately, I mean, if you think about it, a CFD is kind of like dare I say, a derivative. I don't know. Is
I
that an
guess
accurate
kind of.
description?
It's
Because it's not the actual asset, right? Like you said, you're trading physical items. We're just basically trading
Yeah,
IOUs with CFDs
yeah. I don't.
in a
Yeah,
way.
I don't know if they would be
Probably
classified
not. Yeah.
technically as that, but like the
Right.
general word, I know what you're talking about, but not like in the finance world, it wouldn't be considered that. But maybe just as like
Yeah.
a kind of definition aspect, it could possibly, um, but yeah, so it's but yeah, and then no sleep narrator is asking, I'm new to the whole Nasdaq thing. You trade specific stocks in the Nasdaq. In my personal cash account, I do trade specific. I do trade stocks within the Nasdaq. I mean, I'm more of like a investor slash longer term swing trader when it comes to that.
Yeah.
More so looking as like a longer term investment for the most part, and then I do a little bit of options hedging on my positions and whatnot in my longer term accounts and my retirement stuff. But uh, I'm not intraday trading stocks or anything. I'm not doing any of that. I intraday trade futures. That's my specialty with the intraday trading for sure.
That's the daily excitement, and then your savings
Yes.
account, so to speak, would be the investing. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
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 No,
Yeah.
yeah, that's something that's kind of on my back burner as well. I mean, you know, definitely getting some more position type stuff set up at some point. Um, yeah, it's just the good. It's just good to diversify. I mean, it's okay to be on the 1 and the 5 minute time frames and the 15 and the 1 hour time frames to trade intraday, but it's also a good idea to have something build up. Just let the market do its thing. Paying attention to all
Mhm.
the good stuff, right? All the reports you need to decide if something's good to buy long term. It's good to do both. Really isn't a bad idea at all. Hell, I'm even
Yeah, yeah.
considering trying to go buy a house just to rent it out. Like I'm going to probably start playing around with that as well. Just start buying some properties at some point and get them rented out, man. Start building those assets. Have,
Yeah, dude. I mean, I I was a little bit lucky and fortunate to have been able to get my house right before the COVID thing started. So
oh,
that
yeah,
that was a little bit of a blessing there to not have to deal with the
nice.
absolute euphoria of the last like 3 years. But but yeah, I would love to eventually at some point one day be able to, be just like what you're saying. It would be nice to own some more real estate or something. But
Yeah.
uh, no sleep narrator saying FIGR and GMI. You're welcome. Enjoy your retirement. Yeah, that's funny. There are a couple of IPOs. It looks like fintech and cryptocurrency exchange. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to give them a little gander, my friend. That's funny. You're welcome.
Right on.
That's
Thank you very
perfect.
much. Appreciate that. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, did you see
My
Oracle
Bitcoin is.
yesterday? By the way, sorry.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh no,
Um,
yeah. Oracle. We were like when it had its earnings a couple days ago. We had that up on the screen or up on our screens, and that was crazy, man. That was a wild move to watch. So crazy.
yeah. Well, for what about an
Yeah.
hour, Larry Ellison was the richest man over Elon Musk, and then when the market closed, he was down by about $1 billion, something like that. I don't know how accurate that is or isn't, but they were talking about how he briefly was the richest man in the world, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
closed the day
yeah.
a
And
billion, only $1 billion behind Elon.
dude, I mean, the stock went from $240 a share to $345 a share essentially. I mean, it went up like what is that,
30,
40% or something? Like 35%, something like that. Dude,
35.85%. It's like from the open and close, yeah.
that
Or
is,
not
and
open,
now
but
it's
I
back
should say
down.
the Tuesday
Yeah,
close to
now
the
it's back
Wednesday.
down.
Yeah.
It's at like 308 or something when I last checked.
306.60.
Like
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah.
So
So
so it closed down 6.3% from yesterday's close. I'm sorry. Yeah, close to close was 6.34% drop. I mean, it's
yeah,
still. I mean, it's still up. Let me look here. So it's still closed 27% above Tuesday's close. So it's still up there pretty high, but yeah, it definitely made a little bit of a pullback, but
yeah.
it's still in the top third, I guess. But no, I just thought that was
Right.
interesting to watch.
Oh, oh yeah, man. That was wild. I mean,
Elon,
the Nasdaq was
Elon,
something.
Elon probably saw that he got surpassed, so he probably flooded the market with short orders.
Oh my god, that's yeah.
Oh, you are not
We know
going to
Elon.
close today with more money than me. I'll see to it.
That competitiveness. Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah,
We're
because
already
that's
at the
all
end
it
of our
is at that
session.
point. Oh yeah, we are.
We're
How about that? Dang, 10 seconds.
dude. I can't believe that, man. Um, well,
Yeah,
anyways, we'll catch up more on that. I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about that next week for sure. But
yeah,
that is
for
the end of
sure.
our quiet market session, and it was a pleasure chatting with you guys. Thanks for being so active there, chat. We appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate
Tiger,
it.
as always, absolute pleasure. Good trading tonight, and
Oh,
I'll catch you next week. And have a great weekend, man.
yeah, you too. Perhaps Paul and I will have really high value companies that we'll just go short each other's company to keep each other below us, right? As far as overall net
Yeah.
worth. So that's the goal, Paul. But yeah, you have a great night. look
All
forward to
right,
seeing you on
brother. You
Sunday.
too, man. Have a good one,
Peace,
man.
everybody. Alrighty.
Hola Prime. Trade with transparency.